Welcome to the 119th video in our series on Unix tools. In this video, we're going to investigate building a Go project that's a text editor. So we need to find one. And our first hit from Reddit. Let's see what we get. And several people mentioned micro. So let's go there. A modern and intuitive terminal-based text editor. Terminal-based, that's good. It'll work over SSH. We've used Nano. We've used VI, which you know I like. We built one called Mini Notes in Rust. So obviously we need one written in Go to learn more about how to build Go projects. Even if you don't need the editor, we'll learn how to build Go projects. You're looking at the GitHub. You see this stuff. You see, you could take the easy way out and get a release, or you could build from Git. And of course, when we look at the building from source, they tell you build from Git. So let's do it. We can see it doesn't look too hard. We're going to do a Git clone like that. So, okay, let's come back to our window. See where I am. I'm in a special directory called Monday. And I've already tested this out, so let's make sure we've got an empty directory Monday. There we go. So let's do the git clone. Okay, what did we get? We got something called micro. And if we look at this stuff, we say, looks like Go all right. And so you could spend a lot of time hunting down how to build Go projects. And we've done our own hello world in Go, but we haven't done something like this. So what do we need to do? The smart thing to do is vendor this project. And that way we make sure we've got all the source code and there's no fetching source code during the build. Because our internet might go down or something in the middle of the build. That'd be bad news. So how do we do that? We say go mod vendor. And it says, oh, I did git. Go mod vendor, and it says I'm done. And so you have to ask yourself, did it really do anything? And then you're going to come back and find out they cache everything from previous runs. So it tells us to go here to learn more because clearly we need to clear out our vendor cache. Nothing was downloaded, so it didn't do anything when we said go mod vendor. Okay, they talk about this stuff. Go mod vendor creates vendor modules, does all these things. Stored in the module cache. So we need to clear the module cache somehow. Modules, okay. And nothing leaps out at me. I mean, if I had a week to read that, maybe I would. But let's go search. Okay, what is this? A command that is run on the terminal where Go is installed. The command deletes the cache downloaded along with unpacked code dependencies. Okay. This command is used when we want to remove our downloaded packages. This looks like our friend. So let's pop over here. We don't want to get some stale module. And it says clean unknown command. So I cut and pasted that. Right? Go clean mod cache. I cut and pasted it and it doesn't work. Go clean unknown command. And we look at all this stuff. Go help command, go help modules, go help modules. Go here. Basically, the go help doesn't tell you anything. They say they've got some tutorials, they've got some in-depth help. Go help environment. You know, go away is what they're basically saying here. So that's kind of a bummer. We're going to go back to our search. We're going to try harder. This did not work. You notice that's 2565, which is kind of old. They tell you, go clean mod cache to clean up everything. That's all you need to know. Everybody keeps saying it. And every time we run it, every time we try to run it, I'm cutting it and I'm pasting it. Okay, this time it did something. You see, it's taking a while. Good news. Maybe good news. It shouldn't take this long. But it says it's done. Okay? And error return to 0. Okay. What in the world happened? We did that, go clean mod cache, and it didn't work. And we did go clean mod cache and it did work. Yeah, spooky. So let's try our Go mod vendor again. Now it's downloading a bunch of stuff, which is what we wanted. You can see it's all there. Okay. Before we build anything, let's back this up, because clearly it was difficult to get the system cleaned up. So we've made a backup. It's kind of large. So we'll compress it with XZ. Should have done verbose, but anyway, we can see the old size was 28 megabytes. And the new size is a little more than half. Not too bad. Okay, we're in here. We've done the Go mod vendor. And now we need to do the build. Let's check the README to see if there's anything special that we have to do. And we look at this, and they keep telling you, install our binary from Snapcraft. Come on. What's the point of open source if you go install somebody else's binary? And who knows, what else is in that binary? Some kind of telemetry, some kind of ET phone home stuff, which we don't want. And they never put in the source, but they sometimes, they being people online, sneak it in the binaries. I'm looking installation. And first thing they tell you is pre-built binaries. Quick install script. Curl and run it into bash, and you don't get to look at the... No, thank you. Pre-built binaries. No. Use a package manager. No. Snap. No. Brew. No. Building from source. Thank God we're finally here. Okay, we've done this. We've done the git clone. We're in micro. We're ready. It says do a make build. And that'll do it. And they don't have an install. They create a file called micro, and you move it into wherever you want it to go, because they don't have any real documentation like a man page. Fully static binary. We love those. The fully static binary does not depend on anything at runtime, and you can put it on another Linux machine, and as long as you're running the same hardware family, this machine that we're using is using the AMD 64 CPU, so it would work on any Intel or AMD CPU for a desktop. We want that. So this is what we need right there. Let's come back to our window somewhere and try it. Can it be this easy? And you look at that and you say, well, did it do anything? It ran a Go build, which we know from when we created our own Hello program. And we have to know, where is the output? And we're looking and we're looking and we're looking, and we don't know. So we'll do an ls minus lartd, which will say list all the files with the new stuff at the bottom, and don't go into directories, just show the directory name. Okay, I've got something called micro right here, and it looks executable. We could do a file on micro, and it says, yes, I'm an executable. I'm statically linked. I'm already stripped. I'm as small as I'm going to get, and it's rather huge. 12 megabytes. Does it work? Yeah. I'm in some kind of editor. And it says Alt-G, bindings, Control-G, help. Control-G. Okay, it's opened up some help. And if we look at this, we might want to know how to get back out, which we don't know how. They have a command bar, which is, it's not EX mode, but it's the same sort of idea. But we want to know. Okay, so I'm using arrow keys on my keyboard, and if you have a keyboard without arrow keys, you're going to be in trouble. Okay, Control Q is quit, Control S is save, Control E lets you type in some kind of commands. Use Control W to move between splits. And you can do V-split and H-split. Wow, where have we seen that before? That's right, somebody's been using VIM, and they wrote this editor. Okay. Help topics. So Control E help followed by a topic. So you can do help tutorial, help key bindings, help default keys, all kinds of stuff. So could we just say Control Q? Yes, it closed that window. So let's try the Control E, help. We got that back. They said Control W would switch windows, and it did. And we'll go back to the help, Control W, and we'll move around. So probably we need help on the bindings, key bindings. Okay, they tell you all these wonderful things about how to rebind. In VIM we used a command called map, an EX command for that. That's not what we want, so let's go back and say help default keys and find out what are the things. Okay, Control E we know. Tab will auto-complete. Control B. Supposed to run a shell command. Let's try it. Control B. ls-al. Yeah, it sort of popped the shell, but as soon as you were done, you're back. Navigation, arrows, move the cursor around, shift arrows. Okay, you notice the shift arrow is not working. This probably is the same issue we had before, and we have a special mini notes environment for that. Right now, I'm running light theme. So to get this kind of move and select text, we're going to have to get out of here and change our bindings, or maybe we can change this way. Change settings. Ah, here they are. Gotta love Windows. You know, pop the window behind what you're doing, like we're ever gonna see it. So we need the mini notes theme, and we need that loaded. But you can see, all we can do is save right now. We can't load. So we go logging, terminal, connection, selection, session. There's no way to load. The only way we're going to load is if we exit. So fine. Control Q, don't save, exit. We're going to go back in. This time we're going to choose the mini notes. We're going to load that. Okay, now we're looking at Monday. We go back into micro and we run micro and we Control E, help, what was it, default keys? Yeah. And we were in here and we were down here and we're going to say, okay, shift arrows, select text. Yes, it seems to be working. Okay, good. And they expect home and end keys and all that stuff. So, cool. Control W down here. We're going to close the help. Control Q. And then we're going to say, this is a test. I hope, if I could spell, I hope you like it. And then we're going to do a Control S. We're going to test text. And we'll Control Q, and we're out. Okay, it all seems to work. How do we install this thing? It doesn't have any files that it loads from the disk that we know about, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of documentation or man page, so we just move the binary in. And if we take a look at our path, I hope you remember, we've got home local bin, which is probably where we want to put this. So we move micro to home local bin. And since it's a static library, we don't need to move anything else. Everything is in there. So I'll come back up to my home directory, or I could just type CD and be there. And then I could say micro. Yeah, micro's the name of it. So let's find some file that we can open. Remember our wonderland.sh, which we created to learn about shell scripting? There it is, and you see we've got some kind of fancy highlighting. This is short, so page up and page down don't do anything, but let's make it a little bit longer. And now we could do a page up and a page down, page up. So that's how that works. We do the shift on that stuff, hit the delete key, it's gone. This editor is fairly intuitive. So great. We've learned how to build the program and how to install it. It's pretty simple because it's the single static binary. And this text editor seems to work just fine, but you have to remember that you're going to have to choose our mini notes login. And if you don't remember what that meant, that said on the keyboard we had to go with Xterm 216 plus and Xterm style bitmap. Okay, and those were the things that made this different from our regular login. Okay, Control Q. I think we're done with this video. I hope you found it helpful. Keep in mind that I haven't been showing this and all this stuff, but we've got our vendored code available right there in the archive, so we can delete the micro, save some disk space, but we could rebuild it again if we ever need to, exactly the version we have with exactly the modules we have, using that. And if you check, micro is still there. So we're done. Please come back for our next video. We'll do something completely different. Thank you for listening.